Hello, everyone. This is Tim Beck again from SAASTEPS. This is another episode talking about revenue acceleration management, but more importantly, educating people about the different things that are going on in the space. And today we have with us a special guest, Alan, who I'd like to have introduce himself formally and give you a little bit of background about himself. And then we're going to go through a number of different questions that we have for Alan. Alan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So my name is Alan Glazer. I have been in product management for 13 years. I've been in technology for longer than that. If I say how long, I'm going to age myself. I've also been a product leader. I was a director of product management at my most recent organization. I'm a very customer-driven product manager. Everything I do is about providing value for our customers. And the best way to do that is to actually reach out, talk to your customers, understand who they are, understand what their needs are, and the trick is then being able to translate that into products that can drive value and give them success. So that's what I do. I love doing it, and I hope to be doing it for another 13 years.
Love it. Yep. That's, 13 seems to be like the lucky number this year, because it's about what it is for me too.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep doing what I'm doing for at least another 13 years because I love what I do. And, this kind of brings up, our relationship, Alan. And again, we met years ago, and we met when the industry was really inundated with thinking about what to do, how to get out of the .com. People were going from on-premise, going to SaaS hybrid, going to, built on a platform model. And so there were all these different things that were going on. And when you think about that, a lot of different companies really got to the stage where they were standardizing on customizations. And I was curious, what are your thoughts behind all of this, and why did it become, or seem like it became, the norm?
Yeah, customization became the norm, I think, because a lot of people try to focus on, let me win that specific deal. What is that specific person looking for? And so companies would open themselves up to basically doing everything for everyone, at which point you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. And as a user, your thought is, what's going to make me successful? And so I see what you have there, but I want to be able to customize it to my own liking. Yet, from what I've seen from talking to people throughout my career, is that they think they want customization, but not really, because then customization makes it a little bit more difficult, makes the onboarding take longer. It makes the development of the tool longer to do. When you have a problem and you call somebody and say, hey, support, help me with this, it's harder for them to figure out how to actually solve your problem because you have such a custom solution.
Interesting.
The reality,
it kind of makes sense. I'm sorry, Alan, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it kind of makes sense what we used to do in the past when we used to, build basically custom demos and show custom demos, because a customer always said, hey, great, that's great what you do, but I would like to see you do this. And so then we would build these custom demos and then show people those different demos. But reality is it was all custom code. So, but I'm sorry, please continue.
Right. Yeah. So customization, while powerful, it can just get way, way out of hand. As a product manager, you do want to listen to your clients. You want to understand what those levels of customization that they're looking for. Where it becomes exciting is to take that information and then figure out how you can make that broad scale. And instead of it being a custom solution, integrating it as part of your main solution that can help everyone. Now, can you do that every time? Of course not, because then your application would just have more features than anyone could ever possibly use. So it's always the trying to find that balance.
Agreed.
Between the two.
No, I agree. I think that's why, this kind of goes back into when I originally approached you, and I wanted to introduce you to a different way of looking at things. And, in the past, it was always about, okay, let's customize everything, because again, we couldn't do everything back in the day. And I had come to you and said, hey, I bought this company. Crazy enough, I don't know how a sales rep does that, but yeah, I bought a technology company. And I wanted to share with you something where I didn't want to customize anymore. I wanted to standardize. I wanted to get to a stage that it was just easier to manage your end-to-end revenue process. And so, I was curious, thinking about what you've done in the past, what do you see as super beneficial if a company like us did exist now to give the benefits to a company with standardization? What are some of the things you would want out of a tool, out of curiosity, Alan?
Yeah, so I wanted the tool to allow me to do what I need to do to get my day-to-day job done. I want it to be able to allow me to do it efficiently. I want it to allow it to do it easily. If it's a standardized solution, I just want to make sure that it can do what I need to do. If it takes 4 steps or 6 steps, not a big deal as long as the end result can be accomplished. And it's easy enough that I can figure out how to do that, preferably on my own. So if I'm used to doing things in Excel that's downloaded on my computer, but you have open Excel that's online through the web browser that I can access anywhere, as long as you have a tutorial that tells me how do I upload my data, how I can manipulate my data, do the same pivot tables that I do the same things that I do, great, I've accomplished my goal. It's less about the tool and it's more about accomplishing your goal.
I would agree. That's actually an interesting way of actually putting it, because you're right. Everybody has goals in running a business. My goal is to automate every single process that I possibly can that I believe a human would do manually. And that's kind of where this product has evolved, right? And it is growing. And you did say it earlier. You said, well, something with too many use cases may be overwhelming. And yeah, I would definitely agree. It probably is, right? Unfortunately, though, when I think you spend time over 12 plus years talking to customers for over a decade, learning about every use case they want, instead of customizing and you standardize it, you end up with a system with like 3,000 plus use cases. And so, again, Alan, when I came to you, I have shared with you solutions where we've customized everything in the past. And then I came to you and I said, I just want to share with you our administration, and then I want to show you the demonstration behind that. And I would love for you to give kind of a candid feedback of what you felt you saw and what I shared with you and what you saw, and maybe what you think about this technology that we've created.
Yeah, one of the things that was nice about it is while you did create automation, you did create standardization, you do have a large number of use cases. As a user, from what I saw, from what you guys showed me, I can go in and find the solutions and configure the solutions to match my needs. So that gives me a level, this is going to sound weird, right? It gives me customization within standardization.
That's an interesting way of saying it. Yeah, I know. I have been trying to figure out how to explain what we do, but it's like trying to listen to the customer and take every single input that they want, then taking that and generalizing it so you can standardize it so it works with multiple different industries. So then everybody is using the same technology, but it's all configuration. And it's point, click, drag and drop. The whole goal here is for us is to make it so easy that a blind person can do it. And to me, if you're going to ever get to AI is a blind entity, then you have to get to the point that your system is AI ready, which means a blind person can do it, right?
Right.
So anyhow, Alan, I appreciate you so much for coming on here and just giving some candid feedback to the community about what you think about, around customizations, why it's kind of the standardization. But I also loved your feedback about seeing what our technology has done to standardize those complex processes and simplify them so that anybody could basically self-implement if they wanted to, or work with consultants to ultimately build out that end-to-end process so you could jointly implement it together. So anyhow, any last comments before we wrap things up here?
No, I was really excited for the opportunity. I was excited to see what SAASTEPS has to offer, especially the idea of taking multiple individual products where you'd have to work with 8 different vendors and combining it into one platform. And even if you don't need all 8, let's say you only need 3, you have those 3, you get your job done. And if you need to expand into number 4 and number 5, you already have those available. So it's pretty exciting what you guys have built.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you being on this. So, you know, if anybody's ever interested in talking to Alan, I'm sure he's available on LinkedIn to answer any questions about his experience in the past and what he hopes to experience in the future.